Tonight on the podcast, we've got some big Gotham Knights news. We got some Spider-Man news. We're going to talk a little bit about Todd McFarlane, and we're going to review the latest episode of Halo, where Master Chief loses his virginity. How
question mark?
Be a vision? Question mark? Yeah. Max, hit that music. It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're locked into the best damn podcast in all the land. It is the Absolute Geek Podcast. I am Matt.
I'm Max.
About to be voted one of the best podcasts in Phoenix.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to win this.
I mean, we already technically are. We made top 10 already.
Voted.
So,
yes.
Yeah, but get your votes in.
Max, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Yeah. It's payday, so that's always nice.
That's always a good time, right?
Yeah. This week was nice. I've mentioned on the show several times that I started a new role in my company, and this week I actually got to do work rather than just training. Nice. So that was nice to actually get in and do the work.
Nice.
But yeah, been a good week though. I mean, went and saw Doctor Strange for the second time last night. Was pretty depressed after the Suns getting absolutely walloped. Hopefully, when the podcast version of this comes out on Monday, while you're listening to this in your earbuds, you'll be able to hear that the Suns won the series. Hopefully on Sunday they don't disappoint me and end up losing to the Mavericks. But yeah, it was nice. Lance and I hit up a late movie last night to go to Doctor Strange 2. So
he's sitting here freaking out about how he can't get his schoolwork done, but he can go to the movies, huh? He can't be on the show, but he can go to the movies. I see how it is.
He was telling me how stressed out he was, and I'm like, dude, do you need to get away for a little bit? Do you need to go see a movie? So we went to a 10 o'clock showing. We went pretty darn late.
Don't lie. Guys went and saw Uncharted again, and then he got the bug to go find that brick oven pizza. So he's out there requesting to find that brick oven Pizza Hut. That's where he is tonight. Well, I'm gonna say what up to the chat. What up, Patrick? Welcome in. Hope you guys are having a great week. My week was pretty quiet. I finally got to paint in Logan's nursery.
Oh, cool.
She's finally making the move out of our room into her own room soon. So I painted her nursery and was doing that, and did one of those 23andMe tests and found out what I'm made up of, and that's interesting. And that's pretty much it for me this week.
What was the most surprising from your 23andMe test?
That I'm almost 40% finish.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I thought for sure, I know the Irish one. The Irish wasn't surprising, but I thought for sure, maybe I had some German in me, or who knows. But I was not expecting Finnish. That was interesting. So
yeah, one of these days I'll have to do that because I've never done that test. I've got my ancestry tracked back pretty far, so I have a good idea of where my ancestors come from. But I mean, those bloodlines could be all over the place. So,
well, it's more in depth for me because both of my parents are adopted.
Oh, okay.
So I just recently found out, and my biological mom and dad aren't together. So I just recently found out about I recently found out about my dad's side a couple of years ago. So now I was like, all right, well, for Logan's sake, let me do this and figure out if I have any I'm a carrier for any genetic disorders or anything like that. And
yeah,
I wasn't. So it's pretty cool. Checking all that out and finding family members on the other side of the family that I've never met and knew about. And it's just weird. Luckily I haven't had to have that weird conversation of, oh yeah, well, I'm this offspring of so-and-so who was adopted and blah, 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 blah. So we'll see if that comes up, but
yeah, that's really cool, man. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's also exciting that you're moving Logan into her own room because, it's fun having the baby in your room. It's sweet. But there comes a point where mom and dad need their freaking privacy, man. So that's a big step. That's great.
Mm-hmm. I won't have to hear, don't touch me, the baby's awake anymore. So.
Now you'll just get to hear the normal, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Don't touch me, I'm tired.
Yep.
I have a headache.
But, well, I wish Lance the best on his pepperoni quest, and maybe he can figure that out.
Yes, indeed.
But all right, well, let's should have hopefully a good quick show tonight. So let's go ahead and get into some geek news.
Let's do it, man. First up on the docket, I'll go ahead and do this one because this is the one that I was not surprised by, but also surprised by. Gotham Knights, the video game coming out here in October, it has been canceled for Xbox One and PS4. Now, the game itself is not canceled. It's still coming out on Xbox Series S and X and PS5 and PC. But the Xbox One and PS4 versions have officially been canceled. And this to me is kind of good news, but it's also like, it sucks if you still haven't been able to get a Series S or a PS5, because now they're more available than they used to be. So if you want one, you should be able to get one nowadays. But doesn't mean you can afford it. So it just sucks for those that don't have a new console. But you know what? Eventually, we have to move on, and this is the start of it. We're going to be nearly 2 years into the new console generation, and it's time to drop the old consoles. What do you think about this news, Matt?
I think it's kind of interesting that they're doing it, but I also think that it hurts. It's going to hurt their bottom line, you'd think, because I'm sure there's still a lot of people that are on the last gen consoles, the Xbox One, PS4s, because like you were saying, they are more available now than they were in the past, but they're still hard to come by. It's not like you can walk into a Walmart or Best Buy or Target and pick one up. Chances are that's not the case. Like, unless you're extremely, extremely lucky, you're not just walking into a store to pick one up. So you have to catch one of these drops or be on a waiting list to get an email like from GameStop that says, hey, Xbox One Series S's are in stock, or whatever you're looking for. So it's interesting that they're doing this and going full next gen, but it kind of makes me wonder, like with the way COVID hit and what they're doing these games, how far the lifespan of the Xbox Series X and the PS5 are going to be. Is it going to be maybe a 3-year lifespan instead of the typical 5-year lifespan, or are we going to get longer? Who knows?
Like these consoles, you mean in general?
Yeah.
Like before we get a new one?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to get at least 7 years out of these before a new one comes out. Like, don't get me wrong. I think like the PS5 Pro or the Xbox Series Z, whatever they call it, is going to come out probably 2 to 3 years from now. Like, there's going to be a mid-cycle refresh like they did last time. But I don't think like the PS6 is going to be coming out for until like 2027, 2028.
PS5 Pro.
I mean, I'm just basing it off of the PS4 Pro naming. I think a PS5 Pro will come out probably in a couple years, but I mean, who knows? Maybe maybe at E3 they're going to announce something like that already, which I think would be too soon. I hope that they're not, already announcing the new mid-cycle refresh. But yeah, I hope that this also means that the PC version of the game, like the requirements, if they're not going to do Xbox One and PS4, I hope that means the PC requirements are slightly higher. Not that I want people to be excluded, but like, you also want, like, when you have these nice machines, these, the PS5, Xbox Series X, or a nice PC, you want games that will take advantage of the hardware. And so it's like, if them canceling those versions means that these are going to be, like, this is going to be a really pretty game and it's going to run well and take advantage of like current gen hardware, I think it's exciting. If that means you need to have like a 1070 or above for your graphics card, I doubt that. I bet it's going to still be like a 1060 will be fine. But like, I think that's a good thing. Hopefully we get ray tracing that actually is like fully supported and good frames per second and stuff. Like, I'm sure the Xbox and PS5 are going to have 60 frames in this game, but are they going to get 60 frames with ray tracing at 4K? I don't know, because a lot of games have not been doing that. Which, by the way, did you see the gameplay that they released for it?
I have not seen anything on this since it was first announced.
So I'll be honest, the gameplay they released this week made me less interested than the stuff they released originally.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice, but the combat was just kind of not my thing. But honestly, it may just be that I don't, because they showed Nightwing and Red Hood, and I think previously we had mostly seen Batgirl, and I think her combat looks more interesting. It's more reminiscent of Batman's combat in the Arkham games. So they give it. I'm pretty sure you get a choice of who you play with, and I'm going to try everybody out. But it's looking like I might be playing as Batgirl the whole game because Nightwing's fighting style is kind of interesting, but Red Hood's I didn't like his fighting style at all. I never like it when a character has a gun and the gun does as much damage as somebody's like bow staff. I'm like, that's not realistic. Because it's I think they're giving him like plasma bullets or something because he's a hero and not like a villain here. But it's just always weird when I'm shooting a gun at somebody and it does as much damage as punching.
Right. Patrick says, don't miss the biggest game news of the week, Dead Space remake.
You know, I'm not a Dead Space guy. What was the news? Was it the release date?
No, I think they just announced the remake of it.
Well, because I thought they had announced the remake like a while ago. I thought I like something about it.
I like Dead Space 2. I wasn't the biggest fan of 1, but I did like 2.
Yeah. So. I started the first game. I'm not big into horror games. Oh, hey, that's the news. Dead Space remake gets January release date.
Oh, there you go. Be
January 27th, 2023. I might try the remake out. I tried the original. It was kind of freaky. I mean, I played for an hour or two, and then I stopped playing just because horror games aren't my thing. But yeah, if you're a big Dead Space fan, then the remake's going to be a big deal. Exciting.
I love the Resident Evil games, but like I said, I liked the Dead Space 2. I wasn't a big fan of 1, so we'll see. I might give the remake a chance, but
they did 3 of those, right? Dead Space 1, 2, and 3? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes to Game Pass, which I doubt, but if it comes to Game Pass, definitely give it a chance.
If it's a day one Game Pass, why not?
Speaking of, I don't know if I put it in the show notes. We're not talking about Starfield and Redfall getting delayed, are we?
No,
we didn't. Okay, well then we're going to talk about that really quick because that's big news. If we're on the gaming news, frick, man, Starfield and Redfall got delayed until like first half of next year, and I'm like so divided on it because I want game developers to be able to take their time, and I want the game to be good, and I want developers to avoid crunch. Like, and if you're not familiar with the term crunch in the gaming like development industry, it's like crazy overtime hours. Like these developers putting in 20-hour days for like months at a time, 6-7 days a week. Like, and 20 hours might be a bit of an exaggeration, but like extreme hours for like not extra pay because they're salaried to get the game out. And it sucks. It takes a big toll on their lives. They don't get to see their families, their kids, whatever. And so, I want to be supportive of delaying a game so that developers can have a reasonable work day. But I would be lying if I, said I'm not disappointed because Xbox isn't releasing anything this year then. Like, there's nothing I can think of that Xbox is releasing that I am interested in. Unless in June when they have their event, June 12th is when they're having their event. Maybe they're going to say, hey, this is coming out this year. Maybe Hellblade 2 is coming out or something. I doubt it, but maybe something big is coming. But Starfield and Redfall were like the only 2 games that Xbox had really announced for 2022, and they both got pushed out. Like,
yeah, I think the only big thing left this year I'm looking forward to is the new Call of Duty. That's it. Like,
and that's not going to be on Game Pass because they don't own
no
yet.
They own that. They own Infinity. I believe they own Infinity.
Well, they
doing the game now.
They're buying them, but the deal hasn't officially gone through yet. So I don't imagine that Game Pass is going to get COD. What in the world?
But
sorry, what the frick? My water cup is like greasy. What did I put this in? Whatever. That's weird.
What were you watching before we started the show, Max?
Coconut oil? Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah. Does it rhyme with Corn Pub? Do you have some naughty things going on in your office before we started the show?
Absolutely. You know me. Way. That's totally up my alley. Gosh dang, man. I don't have any napkins.
You heard about the title of the new Star Wars Latin game, and you had to get all greased up.
I did hear about the title of the new Star Wars game, and like, it's not confirmed, but I think it's just Jedi Survivor. Mm-hmm. And I saw some news site saying, "Look at this super awesome title for the new Jedi Fallen Order game," and I'm like, "That's not that exciting. Like, you're overhyping this." Jedi Survivor.
Aaron said that's what happens when he says, "Don't touch me, I'm tired."
Nice.
But sticking on the Gotham Knights, moving on to the CW has been just destroying shows as of late, canceling so many shows. A lot of their popular series are canceled. But now they're starting to make some announcements of new shows, and the first one is going to be Gotham Knights. Has nothing to do with the game of the same name. The only thing it shares in common is that it's going to be a post-Batman Gotham where Bruce Wayne has died. There's no more Batman. And a new original character who is the adopted son of Batman in the show takes up the mantle and joins the children of other villains in the city. And that's what the premise of Gotham Knights is going to be. Ask me, I think it's stupid. I think it's going to bomb. Why are you going? Why is there so much focus on the adopted children of Bruce Wayne? What's wrong with Damian that you got to focus on? Like in the game, you have Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Tim Drake. You're the first three Robins, but no Damian. Why do you have to make it a brand new character for this show instead of following Bruce Wayne's actual biological child in Damian Wayne, going through these motions? But whatever, I'm sure it'll be just as successful as Batwoman or any of the Nubia, or not Nubia, but Nubia, or any of the shows that the CW are putting on right now. Because to me, these shows used to be the cream of the crop, and now
they're garbage, dude.
None of them are watchable, except for maybe Superman and Lois. But even the Flash has become terrible.
Yeah, I see new CW show and I just ignore it. I just have no interest in that stuff anymore. Love Derby, DC, but not on CW.
Derby Gaming says, "I'm here to clap some cheeks of my enemies. Master Chief inspired me last night." LOL.
Oh, stay tuned. We're going to be talking about them cheek clapping.
But yeah, Gotham Knights, I'm not kind of over the CW stuff.
Very excited for the video game. Not excited for the CW show at all. Yeah. I've heard of it. Like, I had heard of it before you put this slide up. Don't care. Don't want to watch it.
Speaking of CW, sticking there, they're going back to the Winchester Well. They canceled all these shows, and now they're bringing back prequels. So we're getting a prequel of the Winchester. I can't think of the names right now. I'm drawing a blank on the name of the show. Supernatural. Good Lord. Yeah.
So like Sam and Dean's family, you're getting a prequel?
Yeah, you're getting a prequel on the Winchesters for Sam and Dean, and you're getting some other. They're just basically going back to the well on a bunch of previous shows. Walker, you're getting a Walker prequel. They've already got.
Is Walker getting another? Ranger. Is that getting another
season? A prequel? Yep, and it's getting a prequel. So
okay,
who knows?
I thought Walker didn't do well. I for some reason. Look, I'm not a Supernatural fan, but I know it was very popular, so I'm not surprised they're trying to tap into that well. I mean, hey, if it's good, cool. It's too bad Lance isn't on, because I wonder what his take is on this. I feel like this is something he'd be excited about, because
he loves the show on TV. Best show on TV. It could be the best show ever. That's his take. That's why I threw it in here, because I thought that this was right up his alley. He'd have some good insight on it, being a fan. But no, he had to go on his great pepperoni journey. The great pepperoni quest of 2022 to find that brick oven pizza. So it is what it is. But more CW stuff. I don't know. I think they have finally come to the realization they're going to strike out when they're trying to make new original content. So they're going to go back to what works, and they're just going to play off of nostalgia and play off of everything that they can to get ratings back up. Derby Gaming says, "Remember that live action Powerpuff Girls they tried to make? Geez, that script was probably the worst written piece of crap I've ever saw." Yes, it was. And That's why everyone backed out of it and they canned it, because I don't think a live action Powerpuff Girls was going to work.
No, it wasn't. Did that script get leaked?
I've never seen the script.
Okay,
but
I haven't. Maybe he's just saying he thinks it probably would have been some of the worst crap ever written. Yeah, that sounded like the dumbest idea.
maybe Derpy Game has somebody on the inside, and
maybe
they got to read the script. Who knows?
Maybe. Who was attached to that? I'm trying to. There was some decent named actresses attached to the project, but yeah, that was.
They all bailed out.
They all bailed out, and I don't blame them at all.
Sam Raimi was in the news this week because he was asked if he would ever do. He said, Derpy Gaming says, no, it leaked. I saw it. There you go.
So there was
Sam Raimi was in the news this week when he was asked if he would ever be interested in making a Spider-Man or directing a Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland. It basically said flat out no. He said he likes the Spider-Man movies that Marvel did. He likes Tom Holland, but he's afraid that Tobey Maguire would probably choke him if he tried to do a Spider-Man movie without him. So,
I don't know Tobey Maguire in real life. I don't even really know his like celebrity personality. I was shocked when I heard that. I'm like, oh man. I mean, I know Sam Raimi's kidding, but it makes me think, man, is Tobey Maguire more aggressive than I would have pegged him to be? Because he just seems like a sweet guy, you know?
I just think he's a Spider-Man fan. I just think, what really boils down to, he's got his vision of what he wants for the character and what he wants in a Spider-Man movie, and Marvel has theirs, and he probably doesn't have the clout or the leeway to do what he wants to do with that character. And I wouldn't be surprised if he feels like he's got unfinished business with the fourth Tobey movie he never got to make. So
yeah. Well, if Sam Raimi was going to do another Spider-Man, I'd want it to be a Tobey movie, which, hey, the door is open. You could do it. Okay. It would, it could be 20 years later. That's okay. Yeah, I saw this news, and I'm not surprised. He said he's not going to do a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I think that's okay. Someone's going to direct it. It'll be fine.
It was all over Twitter. It was pretty bad. Might be online right now if you look it up.
Yeah, I might check that out later.
I don't know. Sounds like it was everything but sugar, spice, and everything nice. Maybe it was more like the Rowdy Rough Boys.
Yeah, so speaking of Sam Raimi, though, Lance and I, we got to see Doctor Strange 2 again last night, and I'm not going to do any spoilers, so don't worry if you're, you haven't seen the movie yet. But I just want to mention Sam Raimi did something really fun in the movie to where he just did callbacks to old horror movies a lot. And I thought that was fun. I won't really even point any specific ones out for fear of spoilers, but it was just cool rewatching it. Lance and I got to talk about, oh, that was like a callback to The Evil Dead, which, he obviously directed, or that was a callback to The Shining, or, whatever it may be, or Frankenstein or whatnot. So next time you guys see Doctor Strange, keep an eye out for that stuff, because Sam Raimi put a lot of cool little Easter eggs for other horror movies in there. Obviously, The Ring. I think everyone saw The Ring one. That one was pretty obvious. But, yeah. And I'm not even a horror movie fan, and I saw some of the Easter eggs.
I don't know. The more and more I thought about that movie, like, I see things that don't make sense in it.
Yeah.
So
there's some things that aren't great, but I like it a lot. I liked it.
Ish says, I'm on a pepperoni quest too.
Tell us more, Ish. What's your pepperoni quest? What are you up to?
Yeah, are you getting your brick oven? Are you finding that brick oven pizza? Are you brick ovening it up?
But speaking of pizza, I'm gonna do a little side note tangent really quick. My brother-in-law had us over for Mother's Day, which we didn't even talk about Mother's Day at the beginning. Anyway, happy belated Mother's Day. He had us over for Mother's Day, and he got one of those like pizza makers that are like kind of like mod pizza. If you ever been to mod pizza, it was just kind of cool. I'm like, man, now I want one of those. And he like made his dough and little thin crust pizzas. You throw them in there in like 2-3 minutes, and boom, pizza's done. It's awesome.
Ish said that he's waiting on a pepperoni stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut, because we all know that you're the Pizza Hut guy.
Oh, is he? Oh,
crust is. He said, crust is stuffed with pepperoni and cheese, and dusted with butter and garlic.
Yeah, that sounds like a Pizza Hut thing. It does sound good though. I remember when stuffed crust came out in like the 90s. That was exciting, and it was an upcharge, so my parents didn't like to get it, but we would get it every now and again. And I'm like, this is cool. get that stuffed crust, man. Getting cheesy garlic bread. Yeah.
All the rage. Papa John's. Oh, wow. Does Pizza Hut know you're cheating on a dish?
You know what? I like Papa John's. As far as like the big chains go, their garlic butter, chef's kiss. So good.
It is good, but they're so expensive for a pizza.
I haven't gotten Papa John's in a long time. Are they? Because I would always get their deals. I feel like for like $10, I could get like a 3-topping large pizza. That seems reasonable, but maybe they've gone up in price.
It's still ever since they got the Pizza Hut tracksuit, their pizza's gone way downhill. Honestly, Domino's for me, like ever since they changed the recipe, I think Domino's pizza has been a good one. Domino's, Hungry Howie's.
Domino's did get better. They used to suck.
My favorite pizza though is Jets. It's a Detroit chain, but they have a couple of out here now. One in Scottsdale, and I think they just opened a new store closer to me. But Jets Pizza is Detroit style pizza is my go-to.
See, if we're talking chains that aren't quite as big, then Venezia's for me. Like that's my favorite. I love Venezia's. Then Barrows is probably next in line.
Barrows isn't good.
You don't like Barrows?
No. Barrows is good.
Oh, okay.
I
love Barrows. Their wings are really good. Their lunch deals are incredible. Like what, $4.50? You get 2 slices and a drink or something like that.
Yeah, like they're Hawaiian. Good, their Hawaiian pizza is good. But said there's no Jets in Scottsdale, but it's in Paradise. Well, dude, to me, Paradise Valley, Scottsdale, that's all the same.
Yeah, I wish there was a Venezia's closer to me though, because their pizza is amazing.
I just say it's by Scottsdale because every time Erin comes home from Scottsdale, that's where her mom lives, and she works sometimes. I'll be like, hey, pick up Jets. So that's why it's Scottsdale to me. I have not had them before. I've not tried any other than Barrows. I've not had any real just like Arizona local chains. It's usually like Pizza Hut. I mean, it's not pizza, but Domino's is like 2 minutes down the street from me. So if I want pizza, it's easy to just pick up Domino's. Barrows, or for some reason, doesn't deliver to me, but I'll go there for lunch.
Yeah, they don't deliver to me either.
Once in a while.
At least I don't think so, but I live like 15 minutes from a Barrows, so I don't really blame them. I'm looking up Jets. They look pretty good. I mean,
they're delicious.
It looks like, standard like cheap pizza, but they're like a deep dish. That looks good. But Paradise Valley, that's far away from me. Bit too far. Yeah, if you have a Venezia's near you, dude, you got to try it, man. Breaking Bad, that's what they always had there, and we've got them here in Arizona. And
is that where you get pizza from? Breaking Bad?
Yeah, it was always Venezia's.
The one where he throws on the roof.
Yeah, they're massive pizzas and New York style and really good. They're very good.
Jets is a Detroit pizza. It's a very good reminder of being back in Michigan. So that's why I like Jets.
So on the pizza train again. Because I wasn't here for the brick oven conversation, and I don't want to get into brick ovens. But Pizza Hut used to be good. Like, you remember when they had sit-down versions of Pizza Hut?
Oh, dude, in the 90s, Pizza Hut was awesome.
It was great, dude. I would go in with my family. We'd sit down at Pizza Hut. We'd have a waiter coming up. We'd get a pan pizza, a deep dish pan pizza, and it was awesome.
All you can eat salad bar.
All you can eat salad bar. Yeah, then they had the buffets for a while that were really good.
The red plastic cups and the little Pac-Man machine in there that you could play.
Yeah, man. But I don't know, Pizza Hut's gone downhill. Like, I'll still eat it. That's the closest pizza place, like big pizza place by me. I'll eat it, but they're not as good as they used to be.
I can't do it. It always gives me heartburn, diarrhea, and makes me sick. So I try to avoid Pizza Hut.
Sounds like a good reason not to get it.
But I mean, I remember back in the day getting the little personal pan pizza for completing your reading program. Personal pan pizza.
Yeah, man. I would read a ton of Animorphs books just to get some pizza back in the day.
Stick says, I love how Max up front dodges the brick oven controversy.
I just don't want to get into it.
You won't weigh in on whether he's full of it or not.
Oh, no, he's wrong. Okay. I'll weigh in. I don't remember brick ovens being in Pizza Hut, but
no, never.
I also didn't pay attention back when I was a kid to that kind of thing. I just went and ate the pizza.
I agree. Ish says Pizza Hut has lost their crisp. It's always soggy now. That and like their breadsticks are always hard.
Their breadsticks
always hard.
Their breadsticks are terrible. Papa John's has pretty good breadsticks, like the cheesy ones especially. I really like their cheesy breadsticks. And then Domino's, I haven't had Domino's in a while, but I used to live by one, and we would get their lava cake. That was amazing. Those were so good. Honestly, their lava cakes are probably why I have type 2 diabetes. Because we would get like one a week when we lived by one. And then we moved, and that's when I got diagnosed with diabetes. And I haven't had one
Derpy
since.
says, enough food talk. Can we talk master sex of seduction? We will.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
We can move on to the next topic.
The next thing I had is Spider-Man. Dan Slott, Spider-Man writer that is responsible for a lot of big events in the world of Spider-Man, is coming back to helm a second edition of Spider-Verse called Edge of Spider-Verse. I feel like it's the worst decision ever by Marvel to bring Dan Slott back to write a Spider-Man book. Once we thought we were out, somehow he gets pulled back in. I've enjoyed Spider-Man so far since he left it, and now they're going to pull him back into doing another event book that's probably going to start out strong, fizzle, and then bomb at the end, because he can never seem to end his events memorably. And now we're going to go back to that well of Spider-Verse, so much so that we're getting two new versions of Spider-Verse characters. We're getting a Spider Craven and a Spider Black Cat called Night Spider and Spider Craven. The character designs are cool. They're going to probably sell books. They're probably going to be like Spider-Gwen. So if you missed out on Edge of Spider-Verse 2, getting that Spider-Gwen stuff, you might as well jump in on this train, because I'm sure Spider Craven and Night Spider are going to sell.
Yeah, Black Cat as Spider, like a Spider-Man version of Black Cat, makes a lot of sense. I think that's a really cool idea. I mean, Craven less so. I mean, I don't mind it, but like, if you're looking at the art, if you guys aren't on the YouTube, come check out the YouTube and look at the art. She looks great. Black Cat, that just makes so much sense to me. Craven looks kind of cool, but it's got like this Iron Spider vibe to it. And
well, I just think it looks cool with his vest being like the head of a spider and all the legs coming off of it. Like it looks, it's a cool concept, but it's a complete and total cash grab. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I would be more for this if it wasn't Dan Slott writing this. That's what makes me kind of go, ooh, I don't know about this, because his event books never pan out. They always start with great promise and then fizzle out. But we got a quick announcement for another Spider-Man book that's in the works with some amazing creators attached to it, like Neil Gaiman, Jonathan Hickman, Dan Slott again. Just so many good ones here. If you're watching the YouTube, we got the list run down here. But I'm interested to hear more about this event, this book, and what it is going to be. And I have a feeling it's going to tie into the Edge of Spider-Verse stuff that was announced. But I'm waiting to see more. I'm super excited about Neil Gaiman. If you know, Neil Gaiman's done a lot of Sandman stuff, a lot of different books. I'm super excited to see more from whatever this produces than I am Spider-Verse. It is not McClay amazing. It definitely is not McClay amazing. Derpy says, remember when Spider-Man 4 almost happened? It was like Craven, what would have been. That's true, yeah. Or even Mysterio, the different version of Mysterio we were supposed to get. So the Bruce Campbell Mysterio. Ish says, I read that this leads to End of Spider-Verse and Slott killing off everyone. Yeah, I know he's got that. He said he's going to end the Spider-Verse. We'll see. Like, I kind of feel like where the movies are doing it now and the comics are doing it, I'm kind of starting to feel that multiverse burnout. Like, it's like, all right, well, our sales are kind of dwindling. Nobody's really reading this book on a weekly basis. Well, let's go to the Spider-Verse again and let's bring in all these different characters. And, you know, they give Spider-Punk his own series, and for all intents and purposes, that book is bombing. I know the art in that book is god awful, but it's just like, all right, well, we'll just go back to this well. And it's just like, well, what else do you have in the tank, you know? So we'll see.
Yeah, when creativity dies and they just keep using the same ideas over and over and recycling them. Yeah, that's not fun.
Next, we're getting a Married the Children remake, but it's animated. It was announced today that they've been working on this for about a year now, and they're working on shopping it and pitching it to networks and streaming services. I would totally be down for a Married with Children animated series.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? It's got adult cartoon vibes built into it already. You know, I probably won't watch it still, but I think it's a cool idea. Especially because you could bring in a lot of the same people to do the voice acting.
They've got all the original cast attached to it to do the voices. I have a feeling it would probably be a lot like Family Guy.
Be like a modern take, you think, or do you think they do like the 80s?
No,
like
I think it would be more modern, probably.
Yeah.
But I know it's done by a lot of the same people that work on Family Guy. Family Guy is very similar to this show, so Stick Boy says, FYI, that was my grandparents' couch. Nice.
yeah, that very much looks like my grandparents' couches too.
I'll take some more Al Bundy. That's all I'm gonna say about that one.
Yeah, man, he was a great high school football player.
Yep,
he just sure was. Star.
He sure was. And a big announcement from Todd McFarlane's Toyland this week, as we are getting what they're calling the puncher action figures, page puncher action figures. So this is the first set of page puncher action figures. McFarlane Toys and DC have officially launched the page puncher action figure lineup, which offers 3-inch figures and a full-size comic book and a clamshell blaster package. The first wave includes Hush Batman, Rebirth Superman, Flashpoint the Flash, and Endless Winter Black Adam, each priced at $9.99. A breakdown of each figure can be found online. Of more into what you get them than I'm going to go into it, but I just thought it was a cool idea. Harboring back, you get the little figure with the book to kind of get you maybe a little bit more interested in reading books and getting kids in the comic shops. And
yeah,
I could definitely see this being a big draw to kids because of the toy that you get with it and the comic, as well as older collectors. So
yeah, for sure. This is great. This is really cool.
Sticks 4 touchdown Bundy. But I'm gonna probably pick up the Batman one. I don't know so much about the Superman or the Flash, but I'm definitely gonna go for that Batman one. It says more like $19.99. You think so? I don't know.
I mean, $9.99 is a good deal. You said that, and I'm like, so I get a comic and a toy.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good
comic and the figure
for $10. I think that's a good deal. I would definitely go in. Honestly, you say you're not interested in the Flash one. That's the one that kind of jumped out at me, just because. I mean, I don't know. I love Batman. He's my favorite character, but I know a lot about Batman, so I was like, the Flash character, like the figurine looks cool. I could get a comic. I can give the toy to my kid. I could read the book. Yeah, I think this is cool. This could get me to maybe go and buy some books when I usually wouldn't.
I mean, $40, you can have them all and have a little Justice League battle in your bathtub.
There you go. Sounds like fun.
So, it's the Stick Boy said, Todd said in his live stream $9.99. It said Todd ain't selling those for $5. Well, why do you think $5? It's $10 a piece, man. But
I don't know. Maybe because Ish knows the cost that goes into this stuff since he runs a comic book shop. Maybe he's thinking of profit margins and he's like, you can't make money on this.
Yeah. Or I don't know.
I was
going to say, or it's buying them at Walmart, but
yeah, they don't look like super high quality figurines. Like they look like they're fun little action figures. It's not like a collectible that I'm going to want to put in a case and put on my shelf.
It said, so if Todd is selling them for $9.99, and the store sells them for $9.99, the store has not made any money. No, I think that, I just think it's a $9.99 price point at the store is what he's saying. I don't know.
Okay, so it's like, I was thinking.
Yeah,
I figured you were buying these direct from Todd. I was thinking you were buying these online.
No, it's from.
This is going to be in stores. Okay,
you're buying them from like McFarlane Toys, his company, but it's not like Todd sitting there hustling, going, "Hey, I got some figures for you, bro. You gonna come get this Batman Hush and come get this Flashpoint and this little clan package." He says if they're $9.99 at Walmart, that means they're buying them in bulk for like $3 a piece. Well,
maybe they are. They might be.
I mean, how expensive really is it to make a toy, to make an action figure?
I don't know.
I mean, toys are way more expensive now than they were when we were kids, but
I mean, they don't look big. I mean,
damn it, Ish! Don't question the Todd father. Ish says China.
I mean, he's right. They probably are made in China.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't question the Todd father. All right, Ish, you know better than that. But all right, from the moment that at least I know Derpy Gaming's been waiting for, let's get into reviewing Halo. Talking about Halo.
Wow, we got here quick. There
wasn't a lot going on this weekend between just the two of us. Like, we don't have Lance putting in his opinions and dragging us off about brick oven pizzas or talking about, Justice League, Batman v Superman and all that all over again.
I know, right? Every week he has to poke me about liking those movies. Okay, so Halo, and Derpy, I hope you're still here, man. You were wanting to hear about this one as well. Yeah, so Master Chief loses his virginity. I keep seeing that headline. I don't know why people say that this is where he loses his virginity. I mean, I guess maybe the assumption is because he didn't have emotion before, he never had sex. I don't know if that assumption is correct or not.
I know plenty of people that have sex without any emotion attached to it whatsoever.
That is a lot of men. This episode was dumb overall. I mean, there were some cool parts. There was some action that was okay. But, I mean, basic premise of the episode, we've got, Maki, whatever her name is, the Covenant human chick, has been captured by the humans, and her and Chief are hooking up now, I guess. It's stupid. I don't mind Chief having a girlfriend per se. I understand this is going to be different, but the writers are trying to make us believe that Chief is dumb enough to trust her. Chief is an idiot.
I think it's more so about Cuctana. Call it Cuctana because she was watching. She was watching Chief get down and busy. She was loving it.
Cortana's arc is getting better. That was a bright point of the episode.
And everybody wants Chief to get freaky deaky with her little AI ass. But she's sitting there watching. Zaggy says, I want to see more of that lady's butt.
Oh, boy.
I mean, how far has this show fallen from the show? Now, I saw a comment somebody left on a video a few weeks ago that said that this show isn't taking place after the first Halo. It's taking place during or after Reach or around that time, which, okay, whatever. But you're telling me. So I looked it up. By the time this show's taken, I shouldn't say by the time it's taking place, but Master Chief is in his 40s throughout the span of the 5 games. Even Infinite, he's 49, they say roughly in Infinite. So he's literally a 40-year-old virgin if this is the first time he's losing his virginity. And you're telling me that through all of his cryostasis and floating in space and through all his missions and everything he does, he just comes in, whoops ass, and leaves. He doesn't bed down anybody. I think he's been slaying puss all over the galaxy. That's all I'm gonna say. My Chief is crushing puss at every turn of the corner. He's blowing away some bad guys and turning around and just smashing ass. That's my Chief, right?
My Chief is too. And you know what? His helmet's on the entire time.
That's right. And
he doesn't kiss nobody.
They tried to go take it off. He's like, "Don't touch it. Don't touch the helmet."
No, man,
Chief
that's his
never
kink.
takes his helmet off.
That's his kink. He's all about leaving his helmet on.
Stick says, but he has no toys to sell. But it's not my. And the fact that Cortana, they went as far as to make Cortana watch.
I mean, she's in his head, so she kind of has to watch.
It's just like,
but it was a little weird the way they shot it. Like it's not a graphic scene at all. It's a TV-14 show, so everything is cut away and like shot from like shoulders up. But yeah, Cortana's just like sitting there just watching them.
It makes me think of that movie Her.
With I haven't seen that one, but I've heard it's kind of creepy.
You haven't seen that? It's such a good movie. But it just makes me think of like, because Joaquin Phoenix has sex with an AI with Scarlett Johansson's voice in that movie. And it just made me think about that. And the way they do it is like you hear everything going on, but it's a completely like black screen, and they're both just going at it. And it's just like, you're having sex with a computer. And in this one, they've got the computer watching.
Yep. Computer's watching. She's jealous. It makes her get some more emotions. So Zaggy's saying they should have kept the quote unquote love story out of it. I agree. I don't see how there's any love story that could have developed here. They don't know each other at all. Like they've known each other for a day. There's no love there. Maybe there's some infatuation, but I don't see any love. And I think Chief is an absolute idiot to fall for her. I don't trust her one bit. And I don't know why Chief does. Luckily, there's some people in the humans like leadership hierarchy that are like doubtful of her, but not doubtful enough because stuff happens in the episode that, you know, she kind of gets to come in and mess things up. It's a mess. It's a mess. And Styx also says, keep to the explosions. I agree. Like, yes, we don't need just, blow things up. Like, I don't mind some story. I mean, I love story. That's one of my favorite things in gaming and TV and movies. Like, I love stories, but Master Chief is an action hero, and I want to see him not getting sexual action. I want to see him freaking getting action by killing Covenant. That's what I want to see. And I've seen that in 2 episodes. And we've got 1 more episode left. Still haven't gotten to Halo. I'm bored.
I just want to see more of him going around killing Covenant, crushing ass. That's it. Like, I refuse to believe that my Master Chief's a 40-year-old virgin. No, sir.
I do too.
He is crushing ass in every edge of the galaxy he's going to. So,
absolutely. That's why he falls for Cortana in the games. He's like, you know what? I've had so many women in real flesh. It's time to move on to AI. That's why he gets so into Cortana in the games.
Maybe he's got some like crazy backstory where he was with someone that just like broke his heart and shattered him, so that he became this cold, calculated, emotionless Spartan, and Cortana is slowly just breaking down those walls and giving him the love and respect he deserves before she eventually turns on him as well. So just, scorn him and send him back into that depressive state where he just doesn't care whether he lives or dies, and he loses all emotions again. He's got to come back to that Spartan way. Like that's it. And then they're going to cross again one day in one of the future games, and he's just going to blow out Cortana's fucking processor. He's just going to hammer it home, man. That's the Chief. Just swinging that big old Spartan jock all over the place.
Yeah, that sounds just like him.
Stick says he never dated Amber Heard. Dude, you never know. I heard him and Amber Heard might have had a fling.
The Chief? Yeah.
Chief and Amber Heard, man. He been there, done that. He said no biznatch is gonna hold me down. See you later, honey. And he just left her. He took a shit on her pillow and left.
I was about to make a joke about the taking a deuce.
That's where she got it. It was Chief's signature. He was like, all right, I'm done here, and just dropped a deuce and left. Put on his armor and walked off.
You just made me think, man. These Spartans are like 8 feet tall or something. That would be a massive deuce to leave on somebody's pillow.
The pain train just crushed the puss, and that's his calling mark. That's how you know the chief was there. Next time you go to bed, you go to get in a girl's bed, and you're like, why is there a 9-foot deuce on this pillow? The mark is just still here. And she was like, I had a one night stand with Master Chief. He came, he saw, he conquered my puss, and he left. Like, that's essentially what we got here. That's where we're at, and I'm here for it, Chief.
You're right. You're writing some good fanfic, man.
Dude, it's better than saying he's a 40-year-old virgin, right? Who is allowing the enemy to take him over, and the only way I can get to Master Chief is to make him feel again. So I'm gonna make him feel what it's like to crush his puss. Yeah, and a deuce filled with spray bran and space meals. That's right.
It's true.
That's why Chief just gets his food pumped right into his bloodstream, because he's doing so much killing and crushing a pussy, he ain't got time to eat. He's just got to keep going. He's got to keep on trucking, man.
He's busy.
He's got a lot on his plate.
Killing the Covenant. He's sleeping around. He's a busy man. He doesn't have time to eat.
Did you ever play the Alan Wake? I know you said I'm not a big fan of horror, but did you ever play the Alan Wake games?
No, but I've heard Alan Wake's really good, and I own it.
On is that AMC has got a deal in place to turn the game into a TV show.
I think that's a great idea. Honestly, I know that it's a really beloved story, and that it's kind of creepy and supernatural, and so yeah, I think them making it into a TV series is a really cool idea, and that I might be interested in watching that. The developers over there at Remedy that made Alan Wake, they made Control, they made Quantum Break, and I played both of those, and those are really cool games, freaky games. So, and I know Alan Wake has some kind of like loose connection to those. So, yeah, I'm all for it. Make a good TV series. AMC makes pretty good content. I haven't been able to watch much, well, really any of Better Call Saul season 5, I think is what we're on now.
Really?
But yeah, I just haven't had a chance yet. And I think we're 4 episodes in now?
I think they've only got 1 or 2 episodes left until the mid-season finale.
Oh, wow.
Your first episode was 2 episodes in 1. And then yeah, some pretty big stuff's happened, man. Like, I've really been enjoying it so far. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's been fun.
I appreciate that, because I really enjoy Better Call Saul. I started season 4 when it first came out, and then I can't remember what happened. I was like partway through the episode, and then other things just came up, and I haven't gotten back to it. And I've been, with Moon Knight and Halo every week and whatnot. I just haven't gotten around to it, even though Better Call Saul is a better show than all of those. I just knew that for the show we'd be talking about other things, so I was trying to like watch those first. So Better Call Saul's next on the docket.
Yeah, and we have the trailer for the new Resident Evil series coming to Netflix.
I saw the trailer. It looks interesting, I think.
I don't know. It's kind of like a futuristic take on Raccoon City. It's set in the future, it looks like, and I don't know. I kind of want my Leons, my Chris's, my Claire's, the old crew. I would love to see him do the old school movie right, as where it matches up solidly with the game, but we're probably not going to get that anytime soon.
Yeah, because who does Mila Djokovic play in those movies?
Alice.
Is Alice one of the game characters or no?
I can't remember. I don't think I can't remember, because it's been a long time since I've played the first ones. I think Alice is a Resident Evil character. Pretty sure she is.
Yeah, I don't have much Resident Evil background, and so I saw the trailer and I'm like, okay, looks like a cool zombie flick. But I had heard that it was really different, and I didn't realize it was like a futuristic take, and that none of the original characters were really
actually. No, she's not. She's just in the movies, because it's Jill, Claire, Leon, Ada Wong. I believe Alice. Now that I'm thinking about it, Alice was just a movie character. So who knows? But like I said, I'm excited for more Resident Evil. I just wish it would go back to like I've even that same problem with the games. Like they got so far away from the zombie aspect of it. Although I have enjoyed the last two that have been the Village and Resident Evil 7, and I've enjoyed those first person ones, but I don't know. I just want I'm glad that they're going back to zombies, but like again, we're kind of getting more zombies when that zombie trend is ticking downwards, where the popularity of the zombie stuff is kind of going down.
So I didn't realize they had even gotten away from the zombies in the new one. So what were you fighting? More like monsters and vampires in the new one?
You're fighting more like possessed people and like things that more monsters and stuff like that. You're not really fighting like in the new one in the Village. You're fighting like vampire
isn't like Lady Demetrius a vampire?
Yeah, she's like 10 foot tall, and people are putting her in like lingerie and making her be all thick and stuff like that. But yeah, you're not really fighting zombies. You're fighting like corrupt townspeople now. So they kind of got away from the zombies a while ago, and I'd love for them to go back to that classic.
Mutations, Stick says. Okay.
Yeah, same. But I had a lot of fun playing Village, but it just, like I said, I'd rather them go back to the zombie stuff than sitting here with the monsters and all that. So who knows? But that's all we've got for tonight, guys. Like we ran through that quick. I guess we could be like some other shows on the internet and have a tier list about cereals and go on a tangent about salad bars for like 30 minutes, but I don't think we're going to do this.
So, well, since we're doing pretty good on time, I do want to just real quick mention I watched The Northman for the first time this week. Robert Eggers directed that. He's the one that also did The Lighthouse and The Witch. I haven't seen either of those. I've heard they're very good. I just haven't watched either. But The Northman was good. Like if you enjoy Viking stuff, it definitely felt like a Viking movie. Like it felt very Viking. Kind of disturbing. Some pretty disturbing moments. But I liked it. I thought it was a really good movie. It's probably one of the better movies I've seen this year. Very different than Doctor Strange. Don't take your family to watch The Northman. Not that you have to take your family anywhere because it's on Vudu now. That's how I watched it. I've been wanting to go see it in the theaters and haven't had a chance, and I just bought it on Vudu. I was like, I think I'm going to like this movie. I'll just risk it, and so I did. And it was good. You should check out The Northman.
And that gave me I've seen the trailer for it. It gives me very like God of War vibes.
So I would say no.
You don't think so?
Well, I mean, it's God of War vibes in the sense that God of War covers Norse mythology, but it's got some supernatural in it, but it's more like Assassin's Creed Valhalla handles the Vikings. In fact, as I was watching it, there were times I'm like, okay, so I'm watching a Assassin's Creed Valhalla video game or a movie. I mean, it very much feels more like that type of Viking experience because God of War is really mythical. You know what I mean? And this one's very gritty and it's got some of that mysticism in it. Like it's definitely handles the Norse mythology, but it's more realistic in tone. There's no like creature and the world serpents or things like that.
Yeah, it's just brought up. Rest in peace, Fred Ward. Yeah, Joe Dirt's dad. Yeah, Remo Williams, Tremors, man, passed away today. Dude had a hell of a career. He was always kind of the background character in a lot of movies. That's the one that automatically sticks out in my mind is Joe Dirt's dad from that movie. But R.I.P. to him, big time. Tremors is a huge movie. I've never actually seen Remo Williams, but
yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the stuff he's in. Really.
Summer Catch. No, I'm sure you have because he's in a lot of movies.
But, okay, so I mean, I've seen Joe Dirt. Let's see here. So Fred Ward. Let me pull up his IMDb.
He's in The Crow, the original Crow. He's in Corky Romano. He's in Summer Catch. 30 Minutes or Less. Chain Reaction.
Yeah, I'm looking through his IMDb.
Dirt, Two Guns. I've seen a lot of this stuff.
Joe Dirt's the only thing I've seen. Pretty much everything you just named, I haven't seen.
He is in Sweet Home Alabama. Yes, Aaron, you are correct. He is in Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, it's too bad I hadn't heard about his passing, but it sounds like I wouldn't have known who he was because other than Joe Dirt, I haven't seen anything that's in his list.
You've never seen Joe Dirt, Sticks? Joe Dirt's oh my God, man. How could you have never seen Joe Dirt?
Joe Dirt's pretty funny. I like Joe Dirt.
I watch it every time it's on TV.
Nice.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Don't you mean dirt? But also rest in peace to a big comic book legend that passed away this week as well, and George Perez. We all knew it was coming. I think people got a little time to make their peace with his passing. As we all, like I said, it was announced that it was going to happen, and he stepped away from doing signings, and it kind of came out that he was real sick. And Marvel did a tribute to him in a book a few weeks ago, and everyone kind of saw the writing was on the wall. But it's still sad to just see like these absolute legends in the comic book industry leaving us, and just absolute legends of human beings, man. So
absolutely.
But I'm hearing good things about Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I have been too. I'm probably not going to see it still, at least not in theaters.
Oh, I'm going to see the shit out of it.
Yeah,
I'm hoping it comes to Paramount Plus.
Oh, it will.
Like real quick.
45 days.
You think 45 days?
I
don't know. It seems like the Paramount Plus movies are coming out there quicker now. Because I felt like Jackass Forever was on there real fast.
I'm pretty sure the agreement is 45 days. So like the Lost City, that one just came out on there.
Yes, that just came out on there. That's the one I was thinking of, Lost City.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'll see Top Gun. I don't have like any attachment to that movie. I've seen it one time. It's not like my dad was a big fan of it. There's just no attachment there for me. So I'm not like dying to go see it in theaters. But when it comes on Paramount Plus, yeah, I'll absolutely give it a watch. Just like Lost City, like that looks really funny. Mm-hmm. And now that it's on Paramount, I'm like, all right, cool. Kelsey and I are going to watch it. Like maybe since we're ending early tonight, I can convince her to watch it with me tonight. We'll see. Like that could be a fun thing to do tonight. But I don't know. I wish I was more interested. Like fighter planes and stuff. It's an interesting idea, but it's also that this movie has been delayed so many times. I'm just like, all right, well, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, but I have such a love for the first one that it's like one of those. It's like one of my favorite movies. It's one of those movies that I can watch multiple times.
Yeah,
and just keep watching, and not get tired of it. So I'm excited for.
I totally get that. You've got nostalgia tied to it, and I don't. So that's it. I've got nostalgia for Jurassic Park. So Jurassic World Dominion coming out, all those original actors coming back. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, the first trailer for that actually got me kind of hyped.
Yeah, the last movie was bad, but I'm excited for this new one.
Yeah, we're finally getting that integration of dinosaurs and people like trying to live together and coexist, and so I'm looking forward to it. And I was kind of on the fence about it, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, all right, man, I'll give it a go. A lot happened this week, man. Like A lot did, but a lot didn't. Like we're in the firing on all cylinders for con season. We've got Phoenix Comic Con here in 2 weeks. San Diego Comic Con in July. So like con season's up and firing. So I'm excited to see what news is going to come out of San Diego this year. What we're going to see moving forward. Like the only other big news is that the dude who plays Jack Reacher and Hawk from Titans is going to be in Fast and Furious 10.
I did see that. I'm excited about that. I think he's a great actor to be put in there. Do you know if he's going to? Yeah, is he going to be playing a villain or? Do we know?
I don't know. As far as I know, Jason Momoa is playing the villain in the movie.
In the 10th one or the 11th one?
In the 10th.
In the 10th. Okay.
So
because Alan Ritchson's like built like a truck, and so I just feel like he's the kind of guy that could go up against Vin Diesel. I was going to say The Rock, but The Rock's not allowed to be in those movies anymore because Vin Diesel can't get along with anybody. That's why Justin Lin left.
Yep. But maybe he's taking over for John Cena as Dom's brother. I just don't know. I love those movies. They're a good time. They're just a stupid, brainless movie to watch and have a good time with. But where are they going to go? They already put a car in space. Like, where do you go from here?
This last one was pretty dumb, but I'm with you. I enjoy the movies. They're going
to drive a Ford Pinto hatchback underwater next or something like.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a submarine. Ridiculous. Yeah, a car marine.
Yeah, but
I don't know. How do you get crazier than space? Honestly, a submarine car isn't even crazier than space.
No,
you have to get like.
Launching a car into space is probably about as crazy as it gets. Like,
yes,
I don't know.
They're going to dock at the space station.
Like, yeah, put a Fiero in space, like
a motorcycle in space.
That's about the gist of it, man. Yeah, maybe motorcycle turns into a boat or something. Who knows?
Transformers. There we go.
There you go. Transformers v Fast and the Furious. It's going to be dumb, all about family, and Optimus Prime being correct. Autobots, it's all about family.
Yep.
But that's all I got, man. That's not a lot going on this week. Again, anything else? Launching into space and landing on the Enterprise. Let's not get too crazy here. We don't need Star Trek.
No, we're good. There's really nothing else coming out soon that I can think of. Obi-Wan. I'm very excited about that, and Stranger Things season 4 coming out the same day.
And Lady Halo Butt
Halo Butt next week finale. So I guess we'll talk about the finale next week. But yeah, it's a bit of slow news week, and that's okay. We can go about our nights. You can go hang out with your baby, and my wife, she likes me for some reason. I'm glad she does. She'll be excited to see me.
Very exciting. I'm looking at this Optimus Prime Lego set that like really transforms. It's pretty cool. June 2022. Exciting stuff. It is May. I'll catch up so I have an opinion on Halo. There you go, Zaggy. That's what you gotta, Sticks is what you gotta do, man.
Catch up, yeah.
Catch up so you can see old Chief laying pipe around the universe. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. There you go. Like, I haven't really been watching anything new. Like Better Call Saul, yeah. Ozark. Like, you finished Ozark.
I did. I finished it yesterday.
And you were disappointed in the ending too, huh?
Not as bad as you, but I don't feel like anything really got resolved. It was just kind of.
It was that Sopranos ending, like.
Well, and then it ends on like okay, what happened?
Right.
It's just dumb. Like I'm pretty sure I know what happened, but it could have gone multiple ways.
I always hate that about the ending of the series, like letting the audience make up their minds about what actually happened, like the Sopranos. It just feels so like you said, unfinished. It's like, all right, I want to know exactly what happens. I want to know what happens. Finish the story. And I feel like it's a cop out when you're doing that, because it's like you don't have faith in yourself to write a good ending for the series. So you're just like, we're going to end it like this and let the audience make up their mind. and let the audience pick their ending.
It's different than like Inception's ending. I like Inception's ending. Maybe it's because it's a movie, and so I didn't invest as much time into it. But I don't mind the whole, does the thimble fall over or does it not? Like, that's a cool ending. It's fun to speculate. But in this one, it's like, I don't want to ruin anything. It's just dumb. This one just cuts to black and you hear a sound and you're like, okay, so what happened?
And like, I get it. Like, endings matter, and that's something I feel gets overlooked a lot, is that endings matter because you spend, like, look at Game of Thrones, man. You spend all of this time getting invested in these characters, these stories, what's going on, and then you just do a disservice by the way you decide to end it. Like Game of Thrones, you spent all this time building up Daenerys, building her to be different than her dad. And then the last season comes, and all of a sudden, boom, she's a mad queen and just snaps. It doesn't fit. Dexter is another one that the ending sucked on. Like, if you look at shows like Breaking Bad and some of these shows that had just like the better endings, you're like, you feel justified in your 5-6 season journey with these characters, especially if you're going to invest time to watch everything. And so it's just like no matter, like, I like This Is Us. I watched every single episode of This Is Us, all the seasons, and they're like 2 episodes away from ending the series. And so far I've felt rewarded for going on this journey.
Yeah, me too. I watched This Is Us. I'm like maybe 2 episodes behind now because I think a new episode came out yesterday. But other than a certain relationship in the show, I'm pretty happy with what's going on. And they're giving us some resolutions, and I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ozark just ended on this cliffhanger of an ending where you don't know what happened, and it's stupid. Okay, you used Game of Thrones as an example. Yeah, the ending was bad, but at least we know the ending.
Yeah.
I don't like it. The writers are afraid to make a decision, and so we have to, as the viewer, make a decision on what happened. No, I'm not into that.
It's like, it just seems like one of those things that you're just going to continue to you leave it open-ended to offer in that debate so that you can continue having your show and the forefront of people's minds as long as they're going to talk about it. But
yeah, there was one thing that was very clear in the ending of Ozark, and I was disappointed by it, but not surprised.
I'm just go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I don't want to ruin the show yet. We're not reviewing it officially, but there was something that happened in the last episode that I'm not surprised it happened, but I was disappointed because, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm being vague.
I'm disappointed that you watched 4 seasons of Ozark and Marty never smashed out Ruth.
No,
that's all I'm going to say.
No, I am not disappointed by that at all. He's like a daughter to her.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for, because they always had that like relationship. It felt like I was totally waiting for.
No, dude, it was always like daughter and father. No,
listen. If her cousin can smash out that old woman,
that was disgusting.
Marty can take a pass at Ruth.
Dude, Ruth is my favorite character by a long shot. I love Ruth so much. Literally, in the last episode near the beginning, she because she's just so sassy and always like yelling at people. She's yelling at someone at the beginning of the episode. I'm like, you're nuts, girl. You're freaking crazy.
Aaron calling you out. She said, haha, you said he's like a daughter to her.
Well, she's like a daughter to him. My bad. Okay. Got my pronouns mixed up.
Crush that out, man. Just crush that out. Let's go, Marty. Give it to Ruth. You deserve it, Marty. He's like, listen, you've had my brother-in-law. Now have the big cheese. The head honcho can get you a slice of Marty pie.
Marty, one thing I'll say with his arc, he never got desensitized enough to the world he was living in. Like, I was kind of surprised, like, things still bothered him. Like, death and violence still bothered him by the end. And I'm like, dude, you've been a part of a lot. And I'm kind of surprised, like, because Wendy, by the end, she's just like no feelings whatsoever. You know what I mean? because like that was one of the things about Walt's arc in Breaking Bad is he goes from this normal everyday guy and he breaks bad and like he descends into just, you know, he's an anti-hero by the end of it, but like he's a bad guy, you know, justifying selling drugs to all these people, killing people, becoming a drug lord. Like, you know, it's just different than what Marty does. And I prefer the Walt arc. Like a lot of people compared Ozark to Breaking Bad.
Oh, I think it's a lot like Breaking Bad.
It is. But Ozark is extremely inferior.
Yes.
Breaking Bad is so much better. Breaking Bad is probably my favorite show. Like it's so good. It's a work of art as far as television is concerned. And Ozark was it was good. It was really good, but not on the same level at all.
Well, I just think of Breaking Bad, like you have so many like character changes in Walt throughout the show. Like he starts doing it with the best intentions for his family, and then he kind of, you see him kind of, you know, start killing people, and then he's still remorseful for it. And then he's got like, to me, there's two defining moments of Walt's character in that show. And the one is when he watches Jane die, when he just stands there and watches Jane choke to death on her own vomit.
Yeah, that was messed up.
And then when he gives Brock, he poisons Brock. Like that's two character defining. And I guess the third was his manipulation over Jesse. Like when he gets Jesse to kill, what's the guy's name that sings the karaoke? Oh my god, I can't think of his name now. But when he gets Jesse to kill the guy, I want to say it's Glenn, but I don't think it is. You want to get him to kill the guy that Gus is trying to get to replace Walt.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the name of the character.
I can't think of his name either. But when he talks him into killing him, so that Gus can't kill Walt, was pretty good. But yeah, that just whole arc and his like just manipulation over Jesse and his manipulation over his family and like the end between him and Hank, and it's just like the show's crazy good.
Yeah, it is amazing. And Hank and his involvement in the whole thing and how his story, you know, concludes. And Breaking Bad is so good, dude.
But it's just like that universe is so good, because if you watch like
Better Call Saul, same universe.
Yeah, the movie El Camino.
Yeah.
The finding out what happens to Jesse after Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul, finding out what Saul was up to before he meets Walt and Jesse. Like it's just such good storytelling.
Better Call Saul is a lot of fun because you don't get to know Saul at a deep level in Breaking Bad. Like I liked the character.
Yeah.
But I kind of found him to be this mangy, skeevy lawyer, you know, which is what he is. But in Better Call Saul, you get to see how he becomes that. It's really cool.
You get to see his descension from Slippin' Jimmy to Saul Goodman.
Yeah. Yeah, that threw me off so much when that show started. I'm like, wait, his name's Saul Goodman. What's going on? Who's this Jimmy guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good shows all the way around. But all right, I think that's where we're going to end the show tonight. Quick one, knock it out of the park, right? I guess that's what happens when we don't have Pepperoni here telling us about brick oven pizzas. You just get in. We're like Master Chief. We came, we saw, we smashed that ass, and now we're out of here. So
yeah.
I want to thank you guys all for hanging out in the chat tonight. Patrick, Aaron, Derp Gaming, Ish, Stick Boys, Zaggy. It's good to see you guys in-house as always. We appreciate the support every week. If you're new here and you're just finding us, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you liked what we had to say, so you can hear it every Friday night. If you want to listen to the playback, you can do so on any of your podcasting platforms on Monday mornings. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. And if you're in the Phoenix area, I'll put the link in the chat. If you're in the Phoenix area, I don't know if I don't know if it's just restricted to being in Phoenix. I think in Arizona, I think you can do it from anywhere.
The voting? Yeah, you can vote.
You can vote from anywhere?
Yeah, I voted for my hotel in Baltimore. It's not like they're checking your
but you've got a Phoenix zip code, because I know like sometimes it makes you put in your zip code.
Oh, I don't I don't think you have to be located in Arizona to vote.
Anyways, try it. You can try it regardless. I'll put the link in the chat. We are up for Best of the Valley, Reader's Choice for podcasts, Twitter, and TikTok. So go ahead and click that link there. Go vote for us. Help us win Best in the Valley. You guys are beautiful, beautiful people as always. And for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I am Matt.
I am Max.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
come on.
Master Chief is smashing ass.
Let's listen
all over the galaxy and mass.
We'll go ahead and
doesn't care about his mask
and
drink
some pipe.
We'll drink some Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time.